Hey guys, today I want to talk about the LSI, the saturation index, and how different things like total alkalinity, calcium hardness, obviously pH, and your temperature affect the LSI. pH, the pH goes up or down, every point that it goes up or down affects the LSI by 1 point. So that's the major thing that is going to affect the LSI the most. Total alkalinity is going to be every 20. Every 20 the alkalinity moves, it's going to affect the LSI by 1 point. Conditioner is 70. Every 70 the conditioner goes up is going to affect the LSI by 1 point. Calcium hardness, 100. Every 100 the calcium hardness goes up or down, it's going to affect the LSI by 1 point. TDS is the least you got to worry about. Even though it does get acidic as it gets higher in the TDS, it is basically acidic. Every 1500 of TDS affects the LSI by 1. And in temperature, every 15 degrees affects the LSI by 1. So these are all the things. Like during the wintertime, you have to readjust your water. The cold water comes down 52 degrees. Cold water in itself is acidic, so you have to make sure everything else goes up. Like pH, just let that come up a little bit more than you would normally. Alkalinity, let it come up a little bit more than you would normally do. And just, especially if you got like a 350 calcium hardness or a 200 calcium hardness, that stuff needs to come up to offset that cold water. And then on the flip side, when you go up to 80-degree water, then you can bring things back down again. Because now if you leave things way up, you're going to be scale. So now you have to come back down again. So I'll show you on the saturation index by Bob Lowry. This is an awesome saturation index. It's by MPC, and Bob Lowry is the one that made this app. And if you want the app, you can just go in the App Store and look up Robert Lowry. And he has all kinds of different apps in there. I'm going to probably go through some of these apps in another video. But the one right now I'm going to show you is the saturation index that he did, and it's an awesome map. So, and I'll show you different readings and all that, how it affects the saturation index, so you kind of get an idea. And if you get the app, then you can just play around with it yourself and find out, okay, if I raise pH here, if I raise the alkalinity, calcium hardness. Because on the calcium hardness, if you start out at 150 is bare minimum calcium hardness that they want you to have. But when you're filling a brand new pool, it's really a good idea to get at least 200 in there, 250 in there, and leave it at that. 200 is what they want, kind of thing. And then later on down the line, after everything is settled, after the 28 days, you can bring that calcium hardness up a little bit. And but calcium hardness down at that low is not. It's kind of like acidic. It will, like if you fill a brand new pool and you got 70 calcium hardness in that, well, that calcium hardness, that water, that tap water that only has 70 calcium hardness in it, is going to start pulling calcium out of your brand new plaster because it wants calcium. At least 150 to 200 is good. So you have to make sure your tap water, check that tap water when you're filling a brand new pool, and make sure you have at least 150, 200 better of calcium hardness in that tap water, so it's not pulling calcium out of that plaster as it's filling up. So anyway, let's get to the app. All right, well, there's the app. So let's put in these are the readings that they would like you to have. This is what they call as this reading. Let's go 7.5 on the pH. Let's go total alkalinity. They want 90. They'll suggest 90. I wouldn't say 1. Let's say conditioner 50. Borates we'll just leave at 0, but you can put in 50 borates. I'll do another video on that later. Calcium hardness 350. TDS, let's just go 600 because that's basically what a new pool is. 600. And temperature, let's just go 75 degrees. Okay, like right now that's acceptable. That's a 0.02 on the negative side. That's almost perfect water. I wouldn't worry about it being corrosive because it's only a 0.02. So that is good. And that's what you kind of want to shoot for in a way too. The 000 would be awesome. But you try to shoot for these levels down here. Now let's just check the your calcium hardness. Let's bring that down to 150 and see how that affects that affects the corrosiveness. Now it's a 0.37 just from that lower calcium hardness. So calcium hardness can be acidic. It can make the pool acidic, and it can also on the flip side make a pool scale. So now let's bring that calcium hardness up to 900, and now you're ideal on that one, which is still kind of because your other readings are low. You're 7.5. Now if you had a normal pool, they're usually around 7.9, 8.0 when you get to your pool. Now you're scaling. That's 0.68. That's pretty scaling pretty bad. And that's just from the change of the pH. So from that 900. So that kind of goes to show you that if you have a pool that's high calcium hardness, you need to keep the levels down to offset that high calcium hardness. So, and let's go, let's bring that back down to 350. And this app here, which is good too, because let's take away our conditioner. Take away that conditioner and 0 and see what it is. Okay, now we're at a 0.07. Now that means basically, since we have no conditioner in the pool, this 90 alkalinity, that is our total true alkalinity. That is our reading alkalinity plus our true alkalinity. And this app automatically subtracts conditioner out for the pH. So so you don't have to do that when you do the LSI like we had to do in the old days. We had to go through the math on it. So this app automatically does everything for you. So let's put back in the 50 conditioner, and now we're down. So that just goes to show you again how conditioner affects the LSI, because that's not our true 90 alkalinity. What this app is already doing is, let's go here and say our 90 alkalinity, subtract our 50 conditioner times our 0.33, our true alkalinity is 73.5. That's our true alkalinity, and that's still a good alkalinity. So this app already does that all in there. It's awesome. So let me TDS here now. Okay, on TDS, let's go on the flip side of TDS. Let's go to TDS of 4,000 in here. And see now how you went down to more of a negative. So the more TDS is corrosive. So the higher that TDS goes, the more now you have to bring up your pH. You have to bring up that alkalinity. And now you're good. Okay? So that's how this works. The higher that TDS, when you have a salt pool, 4,000 is going to be normal for a salt pool of your TDS. And you want to start draining a pool 1,500 to 2,000 above start. So when you have a start TDS of 600, so when you get a TDS of 2,600 or say 3,000, then it's time to start draining that pool and dumping that pool. So it's 1,500 above start. So that's basically about it. And this app here, I've already saved a lot of my my customers into the Excel form. So I have one customer in here, because you got a view here of your record. It'll come into here, then you can go up to share and share everything. But here's one of my customers right here, and her alkalinity. This is a brand new pool, so the alkalinity is up a little bit on it, and we had it raining and stuff, so the alkalinity came up a little bit on it, and the calcium hardness is okay, and everything else. And the reason this is, again, is like that is because we're at a 0.05 right now, and our temperature is 57 degrees. So what I'm doing is I'm letting things come up a little bit. I don't care about the alkalinity being 160 right now, because that's not really my true alkalinity anyways, even though I can bring it down a little bit right now. But even with that pH at 7.8, in a total alkalinity at 160, I'm still, the water is great. The water is good. That's almost perfect water. So this is why she's got a salt pool too. So that's why that TDS is up there. So a salt pool, about 3,200 ppm of salt, you got a TDS already of 3740. So that's another reason why my things are up. Now when the summer rolls around for us, when that water gets a little bit warmer, those readings are going to come down on that pool, because I'm going to bring them down to now offset for that 75 degree water. So let's go back here, and let's just change this again so you can understand how this is. Let's change this to 52 degree water, which our pool's right now, and now you're at a negative 0.17, which is a little acidic. It's still not bad, but you know, it's just a little bit. And that's just from this here. So again, there's ways to take care of that, to bump that alkalinity up. Bump this up to 1, you know, and things like that. And then that's how you kind of like take care of these pools. So, then anyways, oh, again, another thing on this app here, see, you can share whatever here. Let's just go to home office here. Let's use it once. And it'll take it in here. Yeah, let's check it. And it puts it in an Excel format. So it keeps everything for you. I have all my readings and all different folders in my phone. And then when a customer calls me up, if they ever call me up, say, hey, how's my pool doing? And then I can come in here and say, hey, yeah, Phyllis, yeah, your pool is right now, it's a 0.05 on the LSI. And your readings are good. Everything's good in your pool. Calcium hardness is still a little bit lower than that because that's where I want it right now. That's perfect. 260 is good. And so yeah, I mean, and then let's just go back on this. But that's pretty much this app right here. And do a search on the market for Bob Lowry or Robert Lowry, and you'll get this app right here. This app is $5, but it's well worth the money. And so that's basically about it. If you guys have any questions on the LSI or anything else that you want me to maybe post up, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do about getting another video up. But go ahead and post some comments down below if you have any. And if you liked the video, if you thought it was informative, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. That would be appreciated. And yeah, thanks for watching. All right, thanks.